Yeah, I'm sure people are not interested exactly into what Indian School of Democracy does. We can talk more about funding today, and you can visit our website. Everything is there, well in detail. Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, like that's what I'm coming to. At what point did you decide to start an online crowdfunding campaign? I'm sure as a organization there would be like a lot of need for funds. So at what point did you decide this is the channel to go with, and we do have a need, and we have to start raising funds online?
Yeah. I think one thing which, when we began, also we had this clarity because what we want to work on is democracy and political partnerships. And also, fundamentally, we are a non-partisan organization. So, for us, ideology exactly doesn't matter. What matters is that the person who's coming in our program has the ability to hold multiple truths together, has the ability to listen to multiple kind of audience, and is not in extremes, like it's not into like violent extreme thought from any political spectrum. It can be left, right, but not the extreme. So I think that was which was important to us. And for an organization like Indian School of Democracy, one central thing is that it must not be funded by two, three, four people entirely. Organization like it, which works on democracy and political leadership, must have multiple hundred funders. So at the core of it, we wanted to have, and I think we still want that in next 5 years, if we can get 5,000 people to give 1,000 rupees every month, is what I think will be the ideal funding scenario for us, and not being funded by like three people giving us a crore each. I think that's something that we would not want as an organization, and that's why we thought that let us reach out to our own friends and families and people who know us via a crowdfunding campaign, because as an issue, as a cause, and I think you can tell me more because you work with Milap and you would understand more. Very rarely people want to fund something like democracy or leadership. That's not an idea which gives instant gratification. It's a very long term thing. So often people when they go and fund, I think they often want to fund health or education, which is like at some level more immediate. You know that okay, you are funding children who will go to school because of you, or you are funding a cancer patient who will get cured. So that's why this became a little tricky thing. So we thought that let us try and see what happens. What is the response that people will give? And I think we are happy with the response that people gave us. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, that leads to the next question. Like, I would like to know, you've decided to go online with this need, and then comes the challenge of explaining to people what exactly you intend with this particular fundraiser. So, how did you go about creating the content on your fundraising page? Like, what story you had to put up, what pictures you had to put up. So, how did you finalize on what has to be there on the fundraising page?
So the first thing which is there on our page is the manifesto that we hold true for us, and I think the manifesto is a child answering a question: who is a principal leader? And I think in that manifesto, very well, if you have the link to our page, if you can share the manifesto for the people who are here to read, I think that manifesto is what we felt should be at the top, because that explains what exactly the vision is, the larger vision. Because saying that we'll do a political leadership program which will nurture principal politician is a very, it's not what we are used to seeing. So visualizing the long term impact was something which is important. So that's why I think that's at the top, and we began with that. And then we have, I think, shared a video which talks about what exactly we do, what is the program, what is the intervention, and then in detail about the other things. uh, so that's how we thought that a visual thing, maybe it can be written, but something that gives an image of what exactly our work will enable and what are we up to. So I think that was the thought. Yeah.
Wonderful. So before I move on to the next question, Priyanka, it would be good if we can have the campaign as share screen on for all the people who have joined. While we talk about the campaign, you can scroll through and show all those who have joined, like what exactly he has put up on this fundraising page and how many people have come forward. So while that happens, one thing that you've decided is what type of content has to go live on the fundraising page. Now there is one more aspect to it. What is the target amount for something that you've envisaged for a year of 2047, and how to go about like what portion of the funds are required right now, and how do you calculate the required amount, and what exactly led to the particular target amount that you've currently kept for this campaign?
So one thing, the 2047 thing is the vision statement for us. Can by 2047, when we celebrate our 100th independence, have 25% all elected leaders across the country principled. So that's a larger vision for that. For that, I think the mission for us is to do leadership programs and nurture more and more principal politician on an year-on-year basis. So the money that we were raising is for the coming financial year. So we've launched a program called the Good Politician on 26th of November, and essentially this for that is what we were raising this money, the scholarships that people will get who are joining the program. And because we want to make sure that no one in the program cannot join because of financial reason, we are ensuring that nearly all of them get 100% scholarship who are joining in our program. So the money that we are raising is for the next financial year. 2047 is the larger vision that we see that we want to achieve maybe 27 year down the line when India celebrates its 100th
Even,
independence.
yeah. So can you tell us some a bit about the few of Milap's features that would have helped you? Like when you go through the campaign page, you can see that there are multiple features that we try and put forward so that the campaign organizer has the best chances of getting most funds that they can. So can you tell us about the few features of Milap that you
Yeah.
leveraged to get maximum funds?
I think one of the simple thing was that it is very simple to set up. It doesn't take a lot of time.
True.
Like
Yeah.
if you have just your basic documents with you, it hardly takes an hour also to set up. Much less than that. Once you're familiar with the page, so I think that was very good thing. That very simple to set the entire thing. Then also, there's also a feature of like generating posters. Once you have set up your content, you can easily generate posters and everything. But what was very important for me, and I think for my experience, why I would like give a lot of uh, credit to Milap is I think Karthik, who is my campaign manager. I don't know if Karthik you are listening, but Karthik has been extremely helpful. I think just a call away, little small challenges, and Karthik has always been there, always answered any query, any challenge we had, and I think that made my life very easy.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think that made my life very easy. And so thank you so much, Karthik, for being so supportive in anything and everything we do. This is what I was sharing. So at the top, the moment you open is the ISD manifesto. And then some photos do come. But as we scroll down also beyond this, again, the manifesto is the text which is there in the story section also. So yeah, for us, that was the important thing. Okay, this is what we are doing. This is the long-term vision, and the name we gave was crowdfunding democracy. That
Yeah.
democracy is something which has to be funded by a lot of people. That's there. Yeah. So when it comes to think for the Milap thing, I think Karthik has been a very strong troubleshooter for me. Always there. On a holiday also, sometime I have bothered him, but he has not said that it's off. I will not work today. He has got back to me, supported me, and a couple of interesting things. When I knew that I have lined up multiple funders, and I know this weekend we'll get maybe 3 lakh rupees or 5 lakh rupees. Karthik has also been generous in matching like impact investor thing. So that also he's been very generous. Okay, we are thinking to do this. Some investors liked it. So I think that was also very helpful. Like my birthday or my Himakshi's birthday, so we raised some few lakhs on those days, and because of the matching grant, that also went up. And then we also got our matching grant people who will say that whatever comes in that week. Like Danutsav week was a decent hit for us. I think we reached, don't remember exactly, but we reached I think 10 lakh in the Danutsav week. We launched on 2nd October. By 8th October, we were I think 8-10 lakh rupees, something like that. I don't remember exact number, but it was a decent amount in the first 7 days of the campaign. Yeah.
So, Prakash, one thing that's peculiar about the campaign is the vision is towards a longer period. It's a long-term vision, and often we see people getting to online crowdfunding platforms to raise funds for emergency needs. So, I'm sure there will be many people who have joined this webinar to know how to communicate your long-term goal to a set of donors or people who are potential donors. And what are your learnings by running a fundraiser which is for a long term cause?
I think one thing which is it's difficult to I think visualize a long term thing because often people when they come for that's my understanding of crowdfunding. People often go and donate to a cause that is very emotional in nature, which will give them instant gratification, and this kind of work doesn't give instant gratification. So one thing I think around 80% or 90% of the people who have donated on this page, I would know personally. Me or Himakshi would know, someone from our team would know personally. And we would have had that long conversation with them. So a lot of investment has gone behind every contribution that has come, especially contribution like 50,000 or 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees that has come on the portal. That is a lot of conversation, lot of investment, personal follow up, WhatsApp message, voice notes. I used a lot of voice notes in this, like sending people like a 2 minute long voice note to explain, because sometimes what's written there is one thing, but when people listen in your voice, I think that's a very different thing. So I think that I used multiple times during in the last 2 3 months, sending people voice notes, making sure that in any occasion, if it's a Thanksgiving time also, then I'll send to my US friends, okay, it's a Thanksgiving time. If it's a New Year, then I will celebrate like with send a message to our Indian friends. If it's my birthday, then also I'll make sure that it's an opportunity to raise money. So so yeah, I think it's difficult to explain long term, and that's why personal investment becomes very important when it comes to causes like this. I think it's very rare that someone will randomly stumble upon Indian School of Democracy's page and donate.
True. Yeah.
Uh,
So, yeah, in gaining traction for this particular campaign, I'm sure you would have used a lot of social media platforms as well. Can you let us know like which are the platforms that really worked for you, and which are the ones that you were like really reaching out to, so that you can get more traction for the campaign that you're running?
I think Facebook and Instagram have been very effective. Uh, if you consider WhatsApp also at that, so WhatsApp messaging has been there. Broadcast feature in WhatsApp is a good thing to send a standard message to
True. Yeah.
256 people at a time. So we can, I think I created multiple broadcast group on my WhatsApp account and use that. Smaller message, not like a long message, small, maybe a paragraph or a two paragraph with a link over there, and send it across to a lot of my like mobile contact through WhatsApp broadcast. Uh, Facebook, I think we tagged a lot of people. If someone is contributing, we ask them to go back and write a small message why they have contributed and tag their 4 5 friends, because I think that works very well. If the money doesn't come in, so I think one thing that we were very clear when we were launching also, that we don't see this campaign on Milab just as a fundraising campaign, but also see it as a friend raising campaign. That because a lot of people will see this, they will get to know about ISD, and we are here in long term. So maybe they will not donate in 2020, but if they'll see it again in 2021, they will donate, or if they'll see it again in 2022, they will donate, because people also start believing that these guys are doing it consistently over the years, and I think that builds a lot of credibility. So I don't know the back end numbers, how many people have clicked on our page, but what I've understood over the years is that that conversion is like 7 to 10% often. So if at least 1,000 people are coming on our page in a month, or maybe I'm sure it will be more than that. But if 1,000 people are coming on the page, then maybe 10 will contribute. So the other 990 who did not contribute today got to know about my work, and I think that's in itself is a good branding exercise. So that's why we used a lot of Facebook, made different kind of poster campaigns, and invest a lot of time. Like we literally planned for the next, like when we launched on 2nd October, next 10 days, what are the posters that will go every day, some theme around it, connecting with it, and tagging people who are donating, asking them to donate further. And someone who donates, I think 10,000 or 5,000 rupees, or 1,000 rupees also, then their investment goes up in the cost. So they want to share also further. So I think that's been there. Yeah.
So when you run a particular fundraiser for a longer period of time, then it is important to ensure that you're giving timely updates to the donors or those who are visiting the page. So can you like let us know how you've used this particular feature of Milap, like ensuring that you're giving timely updates and what exactly goes as an update?
Yeah. So we keep sending the update. Last I think update we sent was on 26th of January,
Yeah.
and the idea of the updates for us also has been to let the people know what's happening. So I think one thing that we've been very transparent is that we have shared. I think so. I don't remember exactly in our updates that the money that we have for next financial year. So I think that we have been upright and very clear and honest in that. that we are not using this year's bill and putting it over there. We are saying that we are raising it for next financial year, so that people also know that their money is being used to give scholarship for the people who will join our programs in the next financial year. That's been there. One, I think, innovative thing that we tried to do on 26th January this year was in private and corporates, we have often heard about AGM, Annual General Meeting, which is like you bring all the shareholders together and then there's a meeting and all those people will talk and all. We felt that why not do a AGM in a development sector space wherein all our funders, all our mentors who is giving us time, money, volunteering is a shareholder in the organization, in the mission. Can we bring all of them together? And I think that's what I think we try to do through our AGM. I think that's what the page is up over here. Is it that update? No, I think the latest update of 26th January is of the AGM. If you can just show that to the people who are
Can you just scroll up and show the first update? No, the one about that.
yeah,
I
this one.
think this is the one.
This
Yeah.
one, this one. So this was like we did a, and Republic Day is an important day for us as an organization. We have a policy that we'll take off whenever we want to take, but on the three national holidays, 2nd October, 15th August, and 26th January, we want to work because that's the cause we are holding dear. So all our team members, a lot of our funders showed up for this AGM, and the whole idea was to tell them what we have done over the past 2.5 years, and then what is the plan for the next year. How much money did we raise this year? Where did we spend? Briefly, like not every line item detail, but briefly overview of where the money has come from, where the money has gone, and apart from that, what are the challenges we are facing, and what is our request from them going forward. And I think this, yeah, I've not seen much happening in our space, in development space, but I think this we want to continue as a habit. Put our report card forward. This is what we did. This is the impact. Whatever the numbers are, and also show the budget things that this is the budget that we planned because of COVID, what difference it made, and where we are. So I think this was, yeah, for us, I think it was also being accountable to people who are supporting. So that's why we tried to do this, and we will make this as a feature of the organization every Republic Day. Yeah.
That's great to hear. Prakhar, one thing that I always wonder is the lack of emergency when it comes to a non-medical campaign. Is that a challenge in raising funds? Because often we have campaigns titled, we have like 48 hours to save a life, 24 hours to save a life. So that is, the urgency is created by the title itself. Here you're talking about a long-term goal. So the lack of urgency in the cause, does that act as a challenge to raise funds, or what other challenges did you actually face in raising funds?
I think that's a big challenge because it doesn't seem like an emergency. Also, now things like democracy in terms of political leadership, because we don't have a very good perception of politicians as a country, or maybe as a word now, people don't connect with the idea. Like healthcare or education, we connect because I've gone to school and I know what school has done to me, so I can connect with it. But often, I think very rarely people even know who is their corporator, who is their sarpanch, who is their MLA, and they're rarely engaged with them. So then this becomes a very distant idea. Why do I care about it? But it does matter us in our daily life. If the electricity goes, it matters. If there's garbage on the road, it matters to us. But we in general don't take these things so like seriously in terms of connecting it with the politicians. So that's why I think it became much more difficult for us to show this. What was your exact question? Sorry, I think I went in my answer.
No, I was asking like, did the lack of emergency act as a challenge,
Yeah.
or
Uh,
do you face any other challenges in raising funds?
Yeah, so I think that becomes a huge challenge because it's not an emergency thing, it's an ongoing thing. But the good thing about it is that everyone agrees. I think very rarely we have met anyone who doesn't agree that the politicians of this country needs to change. The politics of this country needs to change. And it is not about one particular politician, BJP or Congress or Shiv Sena, but overall the way politics is happening and the way our engagement with the politicians is, it needs to change. Often politicians that we see are either nepotistic or criminal or come from extremely wealthy background. We rarely can imagine a middle class honest person to go up the ladder in politics. And I think that is something which people connect with very well. So I think that becomes a little easy for us to come to this point. But because the impact is not visible so quickly, election happen once in 5 years. So then I think that becomes a huge challenge, and that's why uh, what we imagine we could not raise that much. What we have raised is also because most of it is through our friends. So yeah.
Wonderful. Prakat, to like wind up things, and then before we move on to the question and answer session, I would like to know like the Milab does have a feature where every donor can drop in a message, a wish while they donate, and otherwise also like offline also you would have received a lot of appreciation for your work. So can you like quote a few of these feedback that you've received for your IST crowdfunding campaign on Milab?
So I'm trying to see, we made a poster of many of those comments together and use that also as a crowdfunding thing. But I think, yeah, but some of them, one on the top, I think just now that I can read is it takes a generation to change our future. Our families thrilled to be a part of story Heizi is writing for generations to come. Keep inspiring. So I think supporters like them who understand it's a long term thing, I think that makes a huge difference. And I think for us also, it's a good, anyways, our work is so slow and so long term that sometimes these messages give us a lot of energy that, okay, people are understanding, people are liking it. One thing which was very good for us is good or different, but I think I felt a little good in the beginning was a lot of people were donating anonymously. uh, and then I felt that there are people in our circle who want to contribute. Maybe they don't want to be known because politics still is not an open thing. Otherwise, also a lot of people donate anonymously. I mostly donate anonymously everywhere, but this specifically I felt, and the other organization that I've raised money for before this Youth Alliance, over there the anonymous donations were far lesser than what we saw anonymous donation for this cause. So maybe because it is political in nature, a lot of people don't want to come forward and donate. That also maybe there. Someone, Ganesh, who has donated 1000 rupees, wrote, I really hope this institution will bring genuine and much needed change in India's political leadership. So I think one feeling that we got after reading these things was a sense of a strong responsibility that people are looking forward to support, and people are also seeing this as a hope. And I think every new initiative builds hope in a lot of people. So I think then it becomes our responsibility to live up to that expectation, also work hard to make sure that it gets fulfilled. Yeah.
Wonderful, Prakash. So I think by these questions, I would have covered the interest of some of the people who have joined this webinar. But to take all the other questions now, let's open the chat session. We can now receive questions on the chat session, and we'll take it one by one and answer these. We also have Rishali from Milab to take any questions which are directed at a Milab feature. She's been with the company for a very long time now, so she'll be the right person to answer any feature related questions regarding Milab.
I, until people ask any question, I just want to add one thing is that Milab team has been very supportive, like right from Anuj to Karthik. Just a small message to Anuj. He also responded so quickly, and I think then he went ahead and donated also. Anuj is co-founder of Milab.
Yeah.
So I think he was also very helpful. We never met before. We just met on Facebook, and he understood. He went ahead, contributed, and then Karthik has been a super support. So if you, yeah, Mubin, if you talk to Karthik, do share that he has been a great support.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Just waiting for questions to pop up. Maybe.
If there are not many questions, then you can write to me. My email ID is prakhar@indianschoolofdemocracy.org, and Mubin or anyone can drop my email ID in the chat. I'm up for a call anytime.
Definitely.
Not like anytime. We can talk over email and then fix and set up a call. Any help that I can
Sure.
support, extend. Just couple of things which are very usual is that there's a lot of follow up that is needed And I think one thing which has shifted my lens to see all this work is that I'm not raising money for my personal things. I'm raising money for a cause that I fundamentally believe in, and I want to dedicate my life to it. So I don't hesitate in asking and reminding people now. The other thing, which is I think, which is a late realization, but I also understood few years back while doing fundraising, is that for me maybe this is a 24/7 cause, but for my friend who is working somewhere else, Indian School of Democracy isn't the only thing that she's thinking across. So that's why it is important for me to, without much guilt, remind her to donate, because she likes this. Just that it skips her mind. So there's no harm in reminding, but yeah, generously reminding, not bullying people to donate. So I think that's been there. Yeah.
Cool. I think we have our first question. It's from Palak. He says, "Great insights. Thank you so much. Can you please elaborate the kind of investment you or the team had put into conversations with people explaining about the cost? And what was your approach to the responses that were kind of passive?" Prakar, I'm sure you can see the question. Would you like to like
Yeah, yeah,
go?
yeah. So I think we have done like a lot of calling has been done to all our friends. Like I said, the first attempt was to do a mega launch on 2nd October, so that the buzz is created, mailers go to entire database, everything. So that happened, but that did not convert to a lot of money coming in directly. So then we also made I made a list of 100 people I will call, message, and send a reminder after 4 days. So that thing was done. A lot of high potential people we know that would want to contribute, but just that they might have some questions. We made sure that we reach out to them, answer their questions, and we are present to whatever query they have. So that I think we did very rigorously. So it was not like a just dropped a message and forgot. I think I dropped a message, followed up, asked them if you have any question. So I think that we did it very rigorously. So a lot of time, when I think investment in terms of when it comes to money wise, I think we have not invested a penny to promote ad or anything for this. But investment when it comes to time, I think we have, especially October and now in January. So November, this December we did not do much. October was 1 month, our phase one, and January was phase two. So January, I think as of now we have raised 7.5 or something around in January. We're
Yeah.
hoping to like reach 30 today and tomorrow maybe. So let's see if it happens. I know 28.5 it will happen anytime. That commitment I've got from someone. But all that is follow up. So I've like literally got on a call of an hour long call, and then only people contribute a lakh rupees. Otherwise, I think it's difficult.
Sure.
I also don't contribute a lakh rupees randomly. I don't have that much also, but if I contribute 10,000 also, I will talk to the person. I would want to know a little bit. There must be some contacts. Randomly, I've never donated. At least I have not donated 10,000 rupees randomly going on Milap and donating anywhere. Uh, Random causes are sometimes more smaller, 2,500, 2,000 rupees. Also, which are very like heart wrenching, like what Mubin was saying, 20, 48 hours for the operation. In those, it will happen, but not, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Prakar. We have shared your email ID on chat.
Yes,
So I
yes.
think if there are more questions that will be directed there. And yeah, in that case, I think there won't be much question.
Yeah, Mobeen, I think just wanted to make a quick thing. I think Prakar, firstly, thank you so much. I think I have been one of the first ones when sort of Anuj introduced to your cause. I think we were super excited to have you on board and really provide all the support that we could to make it successful. And I'm glad Karthik was able to do that for you. Personally, a big cheerleader for your cause and for your campaign. I have donated whatever little I can to it. But yeah, I think what your cause really does is among a sea of people who feel something needs to be done. I think there is finally we are able to put a face to it, saying someone is doing it. So the least we can really do is go out there and support you wholly and solely. So thank you so much for doing what you do, and thank you so much for taking the time off on a Saturday to come join us and really share your journey with us. Um, Milab team is absolutely available with you whenever you would want for any support that you would need with the fundraiser, and we hope it's a successful one. Um, for everyone else who joined today, I think thank you so much. I hope the insights that Prakhar shared with us, you found them useful. He's been generous enough to share his email ID, so do feel reach out to him for any follow up questions you might have. Um, any questions regarding setting up a campaign, or if you have an existing campaign on the platform, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to sort of assist you and resolve that for you. But thank you so much, everyone, for
Thank you,
joining.
Thank
everyone
you
who
so
joined.
much,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vrishali. Thank you, Mubin, and everyone else who's joined today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Bye.